The spotlight is still on bullying in South African schools following the death of Lufuno Mabunga, who took her own life after being bullied. A number of videos have surfaced on social media showing how schools are increasingly becoming violent and children abusing each other. School bullying can occur either in or outside school and can be physical, verbal or emotional. To discuss how bullying can be combated, I'm joined by the General Secretary of the National Association of School Governing Bodies, Matakanye Matakanye. Very good morning to you. Thank you so much for your time. An incident, one out of many, that has now come under the spotlight, sending shockwaves across the entire country. As an association, what was your immediate reaction when you heard of it?
Good morning, Paul, and condolences to the Lufuno family affected and all South Africans. It was really a shock. You know, losing a child, it is not really as easy as everybody would like to think. So it was really a shock. That we have lost a very, very young life. That young life.
Okay, we appear to have lost the General Secretary of the National Association of Schools Governing Body, who is speaking to us about anti-bullying policies in schools. I understand that he is back. Mr. Matakanye, can you still hear us? Just give us your reaction as you were before the disruption in the quality of the audio.
Yeah, then we were saying it was worse. That occurrence in school where we are working so hard to make schools our very, very safe place for our children. And you'll remember that we just had a number of incidents in schools where in some instances children fell in the pit toilet. You remember in the Eastern Cape recently, a child was forced to pick a cell phone in. So we are working day in and out to make sure that now schools resemble homes, exactly homes. So it was really shocking. It was really shocking, but nevertheless, then we are working hard with the Department of Basic Education, with other stakeholders, to ensure that now schools become safer for our children.
You say you're working hard. What essentially forms the scope of your strategies to ensure that incidents like this do not occur?
We, as National Association of School Government, we have got programs. Parenting program, parental involvement program, power of parents. And these are the three programs that we are running with parents in support of the school governing bodies. But in terms of the school governing bodies themselves, we are working hard with them to ensure that they formulate policies, like, for instance, code of conduct is one of the policies that is relevant to what we are discussing, and we are training them to ensure that now they are able to implement it, because it is only when we implement these policies, then we'll minimize and manage this type of incident in our schools. So we are working hard to train the school government bodies, we are working hard to develop the school government bodies, and we are also working hard to ensure that now parents are coming on board to support the school governing bodies. Then, so that these things are reported quickly to the parents, are reported quickly to the teachers, to the principal, to the school. Also, the third program is the program that we are building a very strong relationship between the three components: the teacher, the learner, and the parent. And if we can get this right, we are aware that we know that we are really going to defeat this cancer. we are going to defeat this animal, the animal that is visiting our schools each and every time. You remember 2018, we had a national dialogue, and it was due to the very same similar incident in schools. So we had hoped by this time, then these things would have come to an end. But we also want to call upon the Department of Basic Education to say, we must not react to these things. They must support us so that we continuously strengthen these programs that I've talked about. Because it's only through support that we will be able to strengthen the school governing body, and also strengthen to formulate also policy. The committees in school. One of the committee that is very, very important is the school safety committee that must involve also police, must involve community, must involve all the structures that are in that particular community, so that really and truly we are supporting our schools. And it is through those committees then we can be able to support the schools. And this is exactly what we are doing all over South Africa.
And if you'll allow me very quickly, very lastly, when it comes to your interaction as an association with the Mbilwi Secondary School, I mean, have you had contact with them in the past, or do you intend to go there and assist that specific school? I mean, you speak about how, you want to ensure that incidents such as these are reported as quickly as possible. But according to an exclusive interview with some pupils at the school, with Newsroom Africa, we are of the understanding that the deceased, Lufuno Mabongo, had previously tried to speak out, reporting this incident of bullying, and it appears that her reporting appears to have fallen on deaf ears. So nothing was essentially done about it. Surely that should speak about the programs that are lacking within that specific school.
Firstly, we have dispatched our provincial structure. Our chairperson is leading that structure to go and ensure that investigation is taking place in that school. We'll investigate whether we have got SGB in that school. If we have one, then have they formulated policies, particularly the code of conduct? And if not, what are the reasons and all those things? But now what we know is that now we have those challenges in schools, particularly within the school governing bodies. Some individuals within the schools and outside the school, they are interested in the work that the school governing body is doing. So they end up arrogating the powers of the school governing body to themselves. And you find that the school governing body at some stage, because they are not earning any salary, but they are just there to support their children, then they end up leaving the school. And you find that there's no school governing body in that school. And it is true what we are saying. And it is in that that we want to build a very strong relationship between the teacher, the learner, and the parent. It is true that Lefuno could have been complaining, but nobody really listened to the Lefuno. But just imagine if we had strengthened, we have built that relationship of the students, the learner, and the teacher. Then Lefuno could have gone to the parents and tell the parents. The parents could have gone to the teacher and tell the teacher, or the Lefuno could have gone to the teacher and the teacher sensitized the parents, or the teacher could have reported the matter quickly to the school governing body, and the school governing body acted. But you can see that there is no really proper communication in that school between the stakeholders there. There's no communication between the parents, between the teacher, between the school governing bodies, the management as well. There is no communication. So somebody in that particular has arrogated the power of the school governing body, the power of everybody there, the teacher as well, to himself or to herself. So this is the problem that we are having. And it's not only in Mbilwi. This is the problem that we are facing in the rest of the school in the country. And we just really to talk to the Department of Basic Education to quickly support us so that this thing come to an end. It will not help us for those individuals to arrogate the powers of the school government bodies to themselves. We must strengthen the school government bodies so that we know exactly. Like, for instance, today we just go straight to them and say, you have failed us. You failed us, you failed the FUNO, you failed the school. Because you're supposed to have taken step. You are the people who are supposed to have taken step against the bullies. Because the code of conduct stipulates very clearly that we don't tolerate that type of activity in the school. So they're supposed to have suspended these children long ago, even it came to where it is now, because we have lost a young life.
Very well. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to interrupt you there, but thank you for your time, Matakanye Matakanye, General Secretary of the National Association of School Governing Bodies, speaking there about anti-bullying policies in school and their implementation, or lack thereof.